We live in an era where there's more TV being produced than ever before, and as traditional networks and streamers alike compete for your attention, it's of course inevitable that some projects end up falling by the wayside. And if a show isn't pulling in sufficient viewing figures, most networks aren't going to keep it around, no matter how well reviewed it might be. And so in recent weeks, we've seen networks do a little spring cleaning as they've announced which shows will and won't be returning for another go-around. I'm Ewan, this is What Culture, and here are 10 TV shows that just got cancelled. Number 10. National Treasure: Edge of History. Disney's National Treasure: Edge of History really didn't stand a chance, did it? A continuation of the Nicolas Cage starring action-adventure films that fatally lacked the man himself, Edge of History was a glorified soft reboot which failed to live up to the Bruckheimery bombast of the original two movies. The National Treasure series received predominantly negative reviews from critics and fans alike for effectively using a brand name to launch a generic new adventure serial with a few unremarkable slivers of fan service. And although viewing figures were encouraging out of the gate, I mean, come on, it's National Treasure, it failed to sustain interest throughout or shore up much fan discussion online, which really says it all. In late April, Disney confirmed that Edge of History wouldn't be returning for a second season. But hey, this is what you get when you turn a The Movies series into content. Roll on National Treasure 3 already, please. Number 9. The Winchesters. Not content to let their colossal cash cow die off entirely, the CW commissioned a supernatural prequel series, The Winchesters, shortly after the main show concluded with its 15th season in late 2020. Set in the 1970s, objectively the coolest decade, The Winchesters followed the monster hunting pursuits of Sam and Dean's parents, and though it received broad acclaim from critics, the fan response was considerably more polarizing. In addition to the show's lighter tone not vibing with some, the CW ill-advisedly aired the first season's 13 episodes over an uneven 5-month schedule, missing numerous weeks and even taking a random 6-week break in the middle of the season. As a result, it's not terribly surprising that the show struggled to build a dedicated audience, with viewership peaking at 780,000 viewers in its first episode and plummeting to just 290,000 near the end of the season. Ouch. Given that both figures were just a fraction of Supernatural's average viewership in even its final season, the writing was on the wall, with the CW recently pulling the plug. Number 8. True Lies. Yeah, this is a weird one. Why do True Lies without Arnie and Jamie Lee Curtis? It's just kind of bonkers. Reviews were predictably mixed to negative from the jump for the True Lies TV show, which criticized it for being a personality-devoid retread of the hit movie, no matter the appeal of lead actress Ginger Gonzaga. Despite enjoying a solid ratings debut, True Lies' viewing figures nosedived in the following weeks, enough that CBS cancelled the series before the season had even finished airing. Ultimately, there's a lesson here, and one which Hollywood surely won't pay much attention to. Not everything needs to be a franchise. It's okay to just let movies be movies. Number 7. Physical. One of the most underappreciated gems in Apple TV's growing cachet of quality shows is Physical, a 1980s set black comedy starring Rose Byrne as a housewife who finds self-discovery through the power of aerobics. We've all been there. The first season was broadly well received, though didn't set the world on fire, perhaps due to its caustic array of characters, but the show's second season aired to considerably stronger acclaim, with many feeling that it had now found its feet. Shortly after the season aired, Apple renewed Physical for season 3, though recently announced that the third season would also be its last, effectively cancelling it. Ultimately, Apple sensibly made showrunner Annie Weissman aware of this during pre-production of season 3, ensuring the third and final volume was written with a concrete ending in mind, which not a lot of shows get to have. As such, though it's a shame Physical didn't get to go the distance, at least Weissman was given enough time and creative runway to wind the show down with a, hopefully, satisfying finale. Number 6. Yellowstone. It's an understatement to say that Paramount is all in on Yellowstone, given that they've already spun the Taylor Sheridan-created, Kevin Costner-starring neo-western drama series off into 2 prequel series, while 3 additional spin-offs are already in various stages of production. Paramount is reportedly spending $500 million a year on the Yellowstone empire at this point. Yet, despite this, word emerged earlier this year that the mainline series' upcoming batch of episodes would be its last. Now, this wasn't due to declining ratings, but apparently because of Costner's own waning interest in the show and its demanding schedule, which conflicted with his ambitious upcoming 4-film epic western project Horizon, the first of which has already been shot. Despite Costner's camp reportedly denying this, Paramount recently confirmed that Yellowstone would end in its current iteration with the impending second half of its 5th season, set to start airing this November. While Yellowstone as an enterprise is very, very far from cancelled, its flagship series is effectively dead once season 5 finishes airing. Number 5. Sex/Life. Netflix's erotic drama series Sex/Life may have debuted to atrocious reviews upon release in June 2021, but its first season was a massive ratings hit for the streamer, remaining in the English language TV top 10 for almost 2 entire months. As such, it's little surprise that Netflix commissioned a second season, which premiered this past March, and while not nearly as successful as the first season, still remained in the TV top 10 for a whole month. Yet, the very same week it fell out of the TV top 10, Netflix announced Sex/Life's cancellation, which, if not due to the show's failing viewership, might be because of lead actress Sarah Shahi vocally criticizing both the creative and production aspects of the second season. The actress called season 2 gimmicky, while admittedly she, quote, struggled with the material and felt she lacked the support from those in charge that she had during season 1. Number 4. Perry Mason. Perry Mason caught some flack when it was first revealed for diverging tonally from its predecessor series, a long-running show that starred Raymond Burr in the titular role. However, HBO's darker take, led by Roland Jones and Ron Fitzgerald and starring Matthew Rhys as Mason, was truly excellent. A moody, methodical noir classic in the making, it has sadly been revealed that Perry Mason has now been cancelled after airing 2 seasons. Deadline confirmed the news on June 6, with HBO releasing a statement that said, quote, "We are tremendously grateful for the remarkable work of Matthew Rhys and the unrivaled cast and crew of Perry Mason for their reimagining of such a treasured and storied franchise. While we won't be moving forward with another season of the series, we are excited to continue working with the brilliant creatives at Team Downey on future projects." Now look, it's a shame to lose Mason, but at the same time, I am looking forward to seeing what Jones and Fitzgerald can come up with next. Number 3. Walker Independence. Because prequels are evidently what the CW does when it runs out of ideas otherwise, Walker Independence, a prequel to their Jared Padalecki starring Walker Texas Ranger reboot, takes place in the late 1800s and revolves around Cordell Walker's ancestor Abby, played by Catherine McNamara. Despite not bad reviews, Walker Independence's ratings were soft right out of the gate, with the general sentiment being that there just wasn't an audience for a Western prequel to this property. Me, I don't know why you'd do a Walker series without Chuck Norris, but hey yo, I'm not the CW's audience. And so, between poor viewing figures and the CW's recent massacre of underperforming content, it was given the chop. Given that the network did, however, renew the mainline Walker series for a 4th season despite its own declining ratings, it was a pretty emphatic vote of no confidence for the prequel. Executive producer Padalecki has since stated that the show is being shopped around to other networks, but with its linear TV ratings peaking at just 620,000 viewers, it's tough to imagine many others having much interest. Number 2. Lockwood Co. Now, don't feel bad if you haven't even heard of Lockwood & Company. The new supernatural detective series from Joe Cornish, who directed the brilliant Attack the Block, was unceremoniously dumped on Netflix with near zero fanfare back in January. And to the surprise of no one, it failed to make a dent with audiences. Despite receiving rave reviews from critics for its charming writing and fun performances, Lockwood & Company dropped out of Netflix's TV top 10 after just 2 weeks, near instantly confirming that it wouldn't be returning for more. Even with fans passionately cheerleading the show on social media, it sadly wasn't enough to move the needle at all, as Netflix recently confirmed that it had indeed been cancelled. According to Variety's report, though Netflix was pleased with the show's quality, the lackluster viewing metrics ultimately didn't justify greenlighting a second installment. Bummer. And it must be said, did Netflix really give it much of a chance at all, considering how few of their subscribers were likely even aware the show existed? Yeah, it's a big shame. And number 1, Fantasy Island. Hands up if you didn't even know a sequel to the legendary 1977 fantasy drama series Fantasy Island was a thing, or that it had just wrapped up its second and, as it turns out, final season. The Fox-produced series, which starred Rosalind Sanchez as the grandniece of Mr. Rourke, played by Ricardo Montalban from the original series, debuted to mixed reviews in 2021 and ultimately struggled to build much of a word-of-mouth audience. With few critics even bothering to review the recently concluded second season and its viewing figures failing to improve, it wasn't a shock when Fox confirmed it wouldn't be returning for a third. Fox's statement suggested the reason for the cancellation was indeed its failure to, quote, gain strong traction among viewers, providing yet further proof that digging up existing franchises for another go-around isn't a golden recipe for success. Given the series' strong brand identity though, it's inevitable that it'll be resurrected again sometime in the future. And those were 10 TV shows that just got cancelled. Which series do you think you'll be missing the most? Share your pain with us down in the comments below, and while you're down there, if you enjoyed the video of course, please be sure to drop us a like and subscribe for more if you're new. Either way, I've been Ewan, you've been watching What Culture, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye!